What you are about to hear is not just a story about a ship. It is a story about ambition, about confidence, about tragedy, and about a night in the North Atlantic that changed history forever. A ship once described as the greatest achievement of human engineering, a floating palace of steel, luxury, and innovation. A symbol of mankind's belief that nature had finally been conquered. Its name was RMS Titanic. And yet, more than a century later, one question still echoes through time. What truly caused the Titanic to sink? Because while history gives us an official explanation, the story is far more complex, debated, and filled with unanswered questions than most people realize. To understand the mystery, we must return to the beginning. At the dawn of the 20th century, the world was changing faster than ever before. Industry was booming. Steel was reshaping cities. And the ocean, once feared and unpredictable, was now seen as a highway for progress. In this era of confidence and competition, the White Star Line made a bold decision: to build a fleet of ships that would redefine maritime travel. Among them were three legendary vessels: Olympic, Britannic, and the most famous of them all, the Titanic. RMS Titanic was constructed in Belfast at the Harland and Wolff shipyard, a massive undertaking involving thousands of workers. Steel plates, rivets, mechanical systems, and human ambition combined into a structure unlike anything the world had ever seen. More than 260 meters long, towering like a floating city. Equipped with advanced safety systems for its time, including watertight compartments designed to keep the ship afloat even if parts of it were damaged. Because of this design, many believed it was practically unsinkable. Even the press repeated it. Even passengers believed it. Even the engineers were proud of it. It was not just a ship. It was a statement. On April 10th, 1912, the Titanic set sail from Southampton on its maiden voyage to New York. Over 2,200 passengers and crew boarded the ship. Wealthy elites, immigrants seeking a new life, businessmen, families, and a crew proud to be part of history. Life on board the ship was described as extraordinary. Grand staircases, crystal chandeliers, elegant dining halls, luxury cabins unlike anything seen on the ocean before. For a brief moment, it seemed like humanity had created perfection. But the ocean never forgets to remind us of its power. The voyage began smoothly. Calm seas, clear skies, no immediate danger. But on the night of April 14, 1912, something changed. The temperature dropped sharply. The Atlantic grew silent and cold, and warnings began arriving through wireless radio operators. Messages about icebergs in the area. Other ships had already reported danger nearby. But not all warnings were treated with urgency. Some were delayed, some were ignored, and some never reached the bridge in time. Then came the night itself. Around 11:40 p.m., in the freezing darkness of the North Atlantic, RMS Titanic struck something massive, an iceberg. But it was not a violent impact as many imagine. Survivors described something stranger, a long scraping sound along the starboard side, like metal tearing slowly through ice. At first, many aboard did not realize the seriousness of the situation. After all, the Titanic was designed with watertight compartments. The belief was simple: even if damage occurred, the ship would remain afloat. But the problem was not isolated damage. It was flooding. Water began entering multiple compartments at once, slowly, relentlessly, unstoppably, and the ship began to die. A race against time began. Lifeboats were prepared, but there was a fatal flaw. There were not enough lifeboats for everyone on board. In that moment, human hierarchy became visible. Women and children were prioritized. Many men waited for a chance that would never come. The North Atlantic water was near freezing. Survival time in the ocean was measured in minutes. And yet, amid chaos and panic, witnesses reported something haunting. The ship's orchestra continued playing music. A final act of calm in the middle of catastrophe. And then, at approximately 2:20 a.m. on April 15, 1912, RMS Titanic disappeared beneath the surface. The stern rose into the air. Lights flickered for the last time. And the ocean swallowed everything. Over 1,500 lives were lost that night. But the story did not end there, because what followed was a century of questions. Was it only an iceberg, or were there deeper contributing factors? One theory focuses on the ship's steel. Modern analysis suggests that the metal and rivets used may have become brittle in extremely cold temperatures. Not like modern steel alloys, but materials more vulnerable to stress fractures. This could explain why damage spread faster than expected. Another theory concerns speed. Why was the Titanic moving so fast through an ice field that was already known to be dangerous? Was it confidence, pressure to set a record, or a misjudgment of risk? Then there is the issue of communication. Several iceberg warnings were transmitted that night, but not all were properly relayed to the bridge. Was this human error, or a limitation of early wireless technology? There is also the question of visibility. The sea was unusually calm that night. No waves, no moonlight, no reflections, which made icebergs extremely difficult to detect, as if the ocean itself was hiding danger beneath a silent surface. When the wreck was finally discovered decades later, deep in the Atlantic, it revealed even more questions. The ship had split in two, resting silently on the ocean floor like a frozen monument of tragedy. And even then, debates continued. How exactly did the breakup happen? Was the damage worse than initially reported? Could anything have changed the outcome? RMS Titanic is more than a shipwreck. It is a symbol of human ambition, of technological confidence, and of how quickly certainty can collapse in the face of nature. But even today, it remains an unfinished story. Each new study brings new theories. Each discovery raises new questions. And each generation reinterprets what truly happened that night. Was it simply an iceberg? Or a combination of engineering flaws, human decisions, and environmental conditions we still do not fully understand? Perhaps that is why Titanic still fascinates the world, because it is not just about how it sank, but about what it teaches us about certainty itself. And somewhere in the cold, silent depths of the Atlantic Ocean, RMS Titanic still rests, waiting not to be remembered, but to be understood.